So I wanted to talk about this film yesterday because yesterday was its 32-year anniversary. But the 1993 film Fearless, I wanted to talk about it and its connections to Charlie Kirk, among other things. And why does it connect to Charlie Kirk? Well, it was released one day after he was born. Very next day. And we have the poster here. Very much looks like a cross the way he's standing. But Fearless is the bridge to Charlie Kirk. And it stars Jeff Bridges. Now, what is this film about? It's about an airplane crash. Jeff Bridges plays Max Klein, a survivor of the crash, who afterwards feels invulnerable, fearless. Now, to immediately lend credence to this film being related to Charlie Kirk, other than the fact that it was released the very day after his birth, if we go from Jeff Bridges' birth to Charlie Kirk's, is 16,020 days. That's your 162 June 11th, 6/11, the 162nd day of the year. And if you include the end date, $526 months and 11 days. So you get your 6/11 in there. And Charlie Kirk was killed in the year 25. You also add an extra 1 in there, you can get your 216. Although it could be 216 even without the extra 1. And if you go from Bridges' birthday to Kirk's death date, 909 months, 6 days. That's a 666 because you can flip the 9s. Also 27,674 days. So you got your 47 for Trump being the 47th president. And you got your 67. Water number, Elvis number in gematria. Trump sure does love to talk about Elvis. This is the aftermath of the crash. It crashed in a cornfield. What is June 11th? World Corn Cob Day. I also thought it was interesting to note that this girl was running like those kids in the movie Weapons, which is, a very esoteric film. Released on 8/8, the Lionsgate Portal Day, and connects to 9/11 by the witch in that movie, the actress being born on 9/11. And here we have the license plate of the car he rented. And of course, the car just so happens to be a Lincoln. You know what that's a reference to. And this is Max's business partner and friend who died in the plane crash. Look at that address. 6120 Mission Street. That's your backwards 216 for your 8-4. Right there. 4/28/50 birthday. This guy was decapitated in the crash. Decapitated equals 88. Decapitate equals 84. And there you have your backwards 216 right in his address for your 8-4. And of course down here you've got 2 88s, 2 twin 88s. The guy's name is Jeffrey Gordon. Got the Dawn in the name. Here Max is going to inform his friend's widow of his death. Illuminati checkerboard flooring, of course. And here is Max in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. Jeff Bridges in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. And in the very next scene, he lays down and says, "You can't kill me. You can try, but you can't kill me." Now, from The opening of the Golden Gate Bridge to Jeff Bridges' birth is 4,574 days. You got your 45, you're backwards 47. Trump is the 45, 47 president. And of course, those two numbers, 9 and 11. And from the opening of the Golden Gate Bridge to the release of Fearless, 676 months, 18 days. 67, your Elvis water number. 76, George W. Bush's birthday. 18, both Elvis's birth date, and 666, because 3 sixes is 18. Now remember that Jeff Gordon's birthday on the driver's license paper they showed was 4/28/1950. From that date to the date of the Kirk event, 27,529 days. That's 5/29 for JFK's birthday, 5/27 for the Golden Gate Bridge's birthday. And the license had an expiration date of 4/28/1995. From it to the Kirk date, 11,093 days. That's your backwards 9/11. And there's a 93 in there, United 93. And this movie is about an airplane crash. Now from Jeff Bridges' birthday to the birthday of the character Jeff Gordon, who is decapitated in the film, is 146 days. That's your 6/14 Trump birthday. And from Donald Trump's birth to fictional character Jeff Gordon birth, 14 days, twin numbers. You got your 11 and your 44. 44, of course, being the kill number. And 4 times 11, of course, is 44. And down here you have 46 months, 14 days. You got your 6/14 in there. And when you look at that, I type in the address, and it just so happens to equal 146, which is your 6/14, and 47. Trump's the 47th president. I mean, in your face. Completely in your face. Now get a load of this. If we go 6 years, 66 weeks from Fearless's release date, we land on January 19th, 2001. What happened on January 19th, 2001? Donnie Darko premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. Incredibly important film here. Also, El Chapo escapes from prison. He's got some interesting codes, but I'm not going to get into that. And yes, that was the premiere for Donnie Darko. 1/19/01. So you're backwards 9/11/2001. Pretty incredible. And what happens in Donnie Darko? A plane engine falls out of the sky. And even there it says it opened on August 4th in Germany at the Cologne Fantasy Film Fest. So there's an 8/4/216 in there for you too. And if you know gematria, you know that 222 is the order out of chaos number. In the film Fearless, the plane is flight 202. The film's length is 2 hours and 2 minutes. And the trailer length is 2 minutes, 2 seconds. So that's 222 and 222. And in the film, Stephanie Erb plays a flight attendant on the plane who gives advice to one of the passengers on what to do with her baby. The baby winds up dying, and the mother blames her. But look at her date of birth. September 10th, 1963, 9/10. In Cleveland, Ohio, no less. And let's look at her dad's name. Donald Erb. In fact, her mother's name is Lucille for your Lucifer connection. It's pretty common knowledge that James Duvall, who plays Frank the Rabbit in Donnie Darko, was born 9/10. So from Stephanie's birth to James's, 3288 days. So you've got your 88 in there, of course. 28 also is an important number. It connects a lot of puzzle pieces, but I'm going to do a separate video on that later. And you've also got 108 months. You know, 108 is both your Elvis number and your 666. If we go from Donnie Darko's premiere at Sundance to the Charlie Kirk event, it's exactly 9,000 days. But how many do you think it was before his memorial? Want to guess? Yep. 9/11. And from the release of Fearless to the Charlie Kirk event, you got your backwards 6/11 and your backwards 4/5. Remember, Trump's the 4/5, 4/7 president. From Fearless's release to the memorial, 11,664 days. Got your 6/11 in there, your 66 twin number. Also 31 years, 11 months, 6 days. Of course, you got 666 over here with your 16, 66 weeks and 2 days. And of course, with Fearless being an airplane crash movie, we have to have a 9/11 connection in there. From its release to 9/11/01, 2,888 days. Yeah. Now, the film's screenwriter was inspired to write the script after he was in a car accident. He began writing the story after reading about United Airlines Flight 232 that crashed in Sioux City, Iowa in '89. 232, 322 Skull and Bones. And here's that crash. Happened on July 19th, 1989. From that date to 9/11, 44, 37 days. 44 is the kill number. 37, of course, is the EL number. EL means God in Hebrew. Sioux City, Iowa equals 193 and 67 and 77. Of course, 77 is the year Elvis died. Also, if you just use the SC for Sioux City, you'd also get 193. Because S is the 19th letter, C is the 3rd. Now in the film, Bridges' character Max has an allergy to strawberries. Well, after the crash, he goes to IHOP with an old girlfriend, and he decides he wants to try strawberries. And lo and behold, he has absolutely no reaction after eating one. IHOP waitress equals 162 in both ordinal and reverse. 6/11. The kid that Max rescues on the plane is played by Daniel Cerny, born April 1st, very occultic day, and is currently 44 years old. His full name equals 84 in reduction. Another survivor of the plane crash is played by William Newman. Look at his birthday. The very day after Trump, June 15th. And he just so happened to die on the Golden Gate Bridge's birthday. From his death to Kirk's, 3,760 days, your 37 EL number, and your 76 George Bush birthday, 9/11 president. Going back to Flight 232 for a minute, from its crash to the Charlie Kirk event, 13,200 days. You've got your 13 and your 322 Skull and Bones. Remember, the flight itself is 232, 322 Skull and Bones. 1886 weeks. You got your 18, your 88 infinity portal number, and 86 when you want to get rid of something. 86 it. Now, speaking of plane crashes, Air India had a crash earlier this year. And when were they founded? October 15th, 1932. That's the date Fearless was released, 10/15. From their founding to the release of Fearless, 22,280 days. You got your 222 order out of chaos number and your 28. Remember, the 28s connect a lot. You include the end date. You got your backwards 18 in there as well. And it's 61 years, 1 day for your 6/11. And when was the Air India flight crash? The very next day after 6/11 this year, June 12th. Now, Fearless's trailer and one scene in the film features U2's Where the Streets Have No Name song, which was released as a single on August 31st, 1987, and in their Joshua Tree album, March 9th, 1987. Where the Streets Have No Name equals 116 in reduction for your 6/11, or upside down 9/11. And U2 with the 2 spelled out equals 79. Trump is currently 79 years old. From the solo release of Where the Streets Have No Name to Charlie Kirk's birthday, 2236 days. You got your 36 for 666 and your backwards 322 Skull and Bones. Also 6 years, 1 month, 14 days. Your 6/11. 4 times 11 is 44, the kill number. Go the very next day to the release of Fearless. You got your 322 Skull and Bones and your 37 EL number. 6/11 with a 5. 5 times 11, 55, Satan. Include the end date. 6/11 forward, 6/11 backwards. Now remember our good friend Jeff Gordon with the most interesting address. He's played by John D. Lancey, and this is his full name. You've got your 10-9, 9-10 Charlie Kirk. Also, Yale was founded on October 9th, Skull and Bones. Also got your 116. In the film, Max takes a plane from LA to San Francisco, no longer afraid of flying. Remember, he's fearless now. The plane is United 1518, which equals 88, infinity portal number. The plane he was on originally that crashed was Intercity 202, 322 Skull and Bones number in reverse. It suffered a complete hydraulic failure, 262. Interesting number. Later in the film, Max purposely crashes a Volvo into a brick wall. I'll show you that scene later because it's pretty interesting. Volvo equals 86. Like, you want to 86 something, get rid of it. And that's the license plate with the numbers typed out. 223, which of course is 322 backwards, Skull and Bones. And the kid who Max rescued tells the reporters about him. So a bunch of reporters come to his house. I looked at their microphones and wrote them all down. This one here equals 109. Your 910 Charlie Kirk and your 109 Skull and Bones founding date. This one with the numbers typed out equals 261, which is your backwards 162, 611. This one is 76 for George W. Bush. And this one is 191, your 911. Now, Jeff Bridges was in another film many years later in 1999 called Arlington Road about terrorists who wound up blowing up an FBI building. In it, he plays a teacher at George Washington University. The same director who made this film also made The Mothman Prophecies, which involves the Silver Bridge collapse, which happened in reality, although the film takes a lot of liberties with the story. And in The Mothman Prophecies, we have a John Klein. So, Max Klein in Fearless and John Klein in Mothman Prophecies. Max Klein dealt with a plane crash. John Klein dealt with a bridge collapse. When did the Silver Bridge collapse? December 15th, 1967. From the opening of the Golden Gate Bridge to the collapse of the Silver Bridge, because of gold and silver, it's 11,159 days. You got your 9/11/01 in there. Also 30 years, 6 months, 18 days. Backwards 8/16. Elvis died on 8/16. 366 months, 18 days. Your 36, your 66 twin number, and your 18. Remember, 36 and 18 are always 666 numbers. Now we go from Jeff Bridges' birthday to the collapse of the Silver Bridge. 18 years, 11 days. You're 18, and 8 times 11 is 88. 216 months, 11 days. You got both your 216 and your 611. And can you believe this? Point Pleasant, West Virginia is where the Silver Bridge collapse happened, on the Ohio River. Point Pleasant equals 162 for your 611. And in the Mothman Prophecies, the guy who's having all the premonitions is played by Will Patton. Look at his birthday, June 14th, 1954. His birthday is Trump's birthday. From Patton's birth to the Charlie Kirk incident, 26,021 days. You've got your numbers for your 216 and your 162 in there. And Patton was born 2922 days after Trump. Get your 222 order out of chaos number in there. 2 times 9 is 18. Add the end date for your Skull and Bones number. And in Arlington Road, the chief terrorist is played by Tim Robbins. And coincidentally enough, his birthday is today. He turns 67 years old today, 10/16, which of course is a backwards 611 or upside down 911. From Tim Robbins' birth to Charlie Kirk's death, you've got your 37 EL number, your 44 kill number, and your 42 Elvis death date. Washington, the 42nd state. Also 66 years, 10 months, 26 days, 66 twin number. 126 are your 216 and 162 numbers. Getting back to the U2 from Where the Streets Have No Names release as a single to the Kirk event is 456 months, 11 days. You got your 45 for Trump's 45th presidency and your 611. And from the song's release to 611 next year, 14,164 days. You got your 614 in there. 38 years, 9 months, 11 days for your 911. And from the release of the album that contained the song to the release of Fearless, 6 years, 7 months, 6 days. 67 forward, 67 backwards, also 76. I also forgot to mention that this kid who he rescued from the plane, the actor's name has CERN in it. CERN. And the airline psychiatrist that they put on Max's case is named Perlman, which equals 79, like Trump's age. Pearl is also always a Pearl Harbor reference. And Cerny played Byron Hummel for your 146 or 614 Trump birthday. And Byron, that equals 74, which is 47. Trump, the 47th president. And the plane crash was in Kern County. 146, 47. You're 614 and you're 47 again. Bam. I also can't forget that Max's son is Jonah Klein. A lot like John Klein from the Mothman Prophecies, only with the added H. Jonah is 48, if you're 84. Klein. 99 could be your 18. And John, 47. And right here you have your character named John Wilkinson. You know, sort of like John Wilkes Booth. Now this one's probably a bit of a reach, but that sign there that says "At Last" with an exclamation point. Well, at the same time we had Charlie Kirk in the news, we've also been hearing about this comet Atlas for months. So, at last, and the exclamation point for 3I. I mean, it doesn't fully line up, but it's sort of close. Now, as the plane is about to crash, or right before it starts having problems, this is what his friend Jeff Gordon is looking at on the computer. Sort of makes you think of Twin Towers, yeah? I mean, that's what I was thinking of anyway. Getting closer. Now, I told you I would come back to this scene. This is the scene where he drives into the brick wall. He's trying to prove a point to the woman who tried holding on to her baby during the crash. He gives her a toolbox and tells her to try and hold on to it while he crashes into this brick wall. Look at that all-seeing eye in the middle of a heart, which looks like it has a crown of thorns on it, and which is what looks to be right in the middle of an airplane. Another angle here, as we also see a cardboard box laying there with U6 on it. Of course, U is the 21st letter of the alphabet, so that's a 216 right there on that box. And boom, the toolbox flew out the window right into the eye. As you can see, it's busted up now. And the film ends with him trying to eat another strawberry. Only this time, he does have an allergic reaction. His throat starts closing up. Of course, throat, Charlie Kirk throat. But his wife revives him. And it's really a movie about PTSD, I guess. But as with some movies, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface for those willing to look. Anyway. And the last thing I wanted to add, this film was directed by Peter Weir, the same guy who directed The Truman Show. And you know all about that one. So, all glory to God. Thanks for watching.